Well, last night was a new debate, brand new microphone, so I'm sure that took care of the problem.
Is here with us tonight, 4 years later, talking about you, Hillary.
Okay, Donald.
There you go.
Trump campaign manager Kellyanne Conway said this morning that last night's debate was a good night for democracy. But I think what she really meant was, good night, democracy.
So, of course, people were outraged. Trump apologized. Billy Bush got suspended from his job. Poor Jeb Bush. You know, Billy Bush is his cousin. He has to be sitting at home thinking, why the hell didn't he release this tape a year ago?
Now, of course, last night was the presidential town hall debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, and the audience was made up of undecided voters, or as they're also known, the worst people to be in line behind at Baskin-Robbins.
After hearing Donald Trump's lewd comments about women, Vice presidential nominee Mike Pence canceled a campaign event in New Jersey today. Even worse, he forgot to tell Chris Christie.
Welcome back to America Talks Live. Remember, you can join our conversation. Call me at 1-877-NEWSMAX. That's 1-877-639-7629. We call that headlines and punchlines, what you just saw. Here is a big headline trending right now. Wikileaks releasing another batch of leaked Hillary Clinton emails, and oh, are they revealing. From vetting refugees to political games, shows us what most of us already know, that Hillary Clinton, just not a good fit for the U.S. of A. in our future. Continuing now with our panel, again from Newsmax Washington, Jack Burkman, conservative strategist, host of Behind the Curtain, which you see Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern here on Newsmax TV, and via Skype, the talented gentleman, professor at the University of Maryland, syndicated columnist and economist in his own right, Peter Morici. Now, Peter, I take a look at this thing, and of course, with my stance on the border, the headline that jumps out at me is Hillary acknowledging that from her vantage point, it is impossible to vet refugees. Now, her camp is going to come back saying, whoa, 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 take a look at the email. Not that we believe the email anyway, but she's talking about the refugees pouring into Jordan. But it prompts this question, Peter. If she's worried about Jordan, how much worse would it be with all the refugees she wants to bring into the U.S. of A? In other words,
okay,
isn't
thank
Trump
God
right?
I've got tenure given this question.
Good.
If I said to you, I'm going to bring in 10,000 Italians to come to America, people like me, who live in, are unemployed and want to come here for economic reasons, and 10,000 Syrians, out of which group do you have a higher probability of getting 10 terrorists that are going to shoot up San Bernardino, Florida, and Manhattan? I mean, that's not a tough question to answer. The real problem is adequately screening Syrians or from the other places like Iraq and so forth in the current environment. So when Donald Trump talks about extreme vetting, he's not being a racist of any kind. He's just talking about the sheer practicality. But this issue has become so demagogue. The reality is, what this shows us is that Hillary Clinton knows the truth. And once again, she is choosing to lie. It doesn't matter whether they cross the Jordanian border or get on a KLM plane or whatever and come here. It's the same basic problem. Yeah. Most of them are good, decent people. The problem is picking out the bad apples. She doesn't have a way. The problem is the immigration people don't have a way. And so she's really just demagoguing the issue, deceiving Americans again, doing what Hillary does best, talking out of two sides of her mouth.
See, but
she's
one
nothing
of the
but
things,
a pathological liar.
I agree with Peter, JD, but one of the things Trump needs to do to cut through the clutter is he's got to do a better job explaining and talking about this issue as with other issues. He's got to say Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama coddled radical Islam, and their coddling, fumbling, and mishandling led to the deaths of Americans, led to the deaths in Nice, France, led to the deaths of all these people, and led to the deaths of Christopher Stevens and the 4 Americans in Benghazi. He's got to do a better job linking that. There's just too many slogans with
Well,
Trump.
yeah,
Like, for instance,
I understand about the slogans, but I will tell you, in that second debate, he did a pretty good job bringing up San Bernardino,
Yes.
talking about stream vetting. So I understand. You and I are from
Yeah,
the
but
world.
He doesn't string the beads well enough, JD. He doesn't string the beads well enough.
Well,
I mean,
that's
Hillary
why-
Clinton wants
Yes.
to run on a record, and she makes claims, well, you know, like George Bush decided when the troops would leave Iraq. Well, golly gee, George Bush didn't decide what the level of gun control was going to be in France, the kind that Barack Obama wants for New York. It didn't work in France. Why should it work here? But, you know, George Bush didn't decide to give the Russians the Crimea. Hillary Clinton decided that.
And here is
like
the
with the
point.
foundation.
And
He's
listen, I want
he
to-
really needs to do so.
Here's the deal, and I think it's good advice from the professor, understandably, and from Jack, and I would agree with it. Study the issues, get ready for the debate. Now, let's bring in some other voices on this at 1-877-NEWSMAX, 1-877-639-7629, to Harrison, Arkansas, for Doyle. How do you see it, Doyle?
I have two questions
Okay.
for you. If Hillary Clinton gets to be president, who's going to run our country? The big banks that's done so many favors for her are Hillary Clinton. And the second question is, all these higher Republicans that are dropping out from backing Donald, are they afraid of Donald, that they won't be able to keep packing their pockets?
All right, let's take it two ways and break it down. I'm going to take the first part of the question, give it to the good professor. Hillary becomes president. She's shown an affinity for Wall Street and bankers. Who really runs the country, Professor, when Hillary steps into that job? Will it be Hillary, or will she be listening to the economic oligarchs?
She'll be listening to the economic oligarchs. She's really part of them. I call it the cabal. The people who, went to Harvard and Yale and get picked by the two administrations. After all, what's the difference between the Bush and the Obama Treasury Department? The answer is the difference between the fifth floor and the sixth floor at Goldman Sachs.
That's right,
And that's
Goldman
why
Sachs, yeah.
The Republicans and the establishment are so afraid, because they're part of that cabal as well. What Donald Trump represents are the elitists that have wrecked this country, driven the middle class into poverty, losing control and losing their money. That's what this is about.
Yeah,
I'll
and
make you a
Donald Trump is the
prediction, JD.
antidote. Hey, but I got to give you that second part of the question. He says, what is going on with the Republicans? And since you understand D.C., Jack, is it just the notion that the establishment, is it arrogance on the part of people who live within the Beltway that they can't dare let people who are from the grassroots or people from the outside run things?
Well, I'll make you a prediction. I think the GOP, JD, you can play the tape back in 4 years and see who's right. I think the GOP will break up, and I think that will be good for we conservatives. I think it'll be good for the country. I don't think we can elect another GOP president just because of the way the cities go, the electoral vote. I think it's impossible. I think the Republican Party needs to break up. I think when that happens, the Dems will break up. You're heading into a period like the 1850s with political realignment. If you look at, to the caller's question, to your question, people like Paul Ryan, he's a guy without a base. Most of the establishment Republicans, even Mitch McConnell, they don't really represent anyone out in the hinterland. People out in the hinterland like Donald Trump. They don't favor free trade. Ryan is like a guy from the 80s. He has no base. You have a real disconnect in the party.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's connect with another caller at 1-877-639-7629. Gene, we got about a minute. What's on your mind?
Well, let's level the playing field a little bit here. Everybody, has commented about what Trump said about these women. Come on, has anybody ever heard what a woman says about men behind closed doors? It pales what men say about women. And then wouldn't you like to hear what Hillary said about men behind closed doors?
Well, I will tell you, while I don't want to engage in a battle of the sexes, I go back to this, and I want to see where Peter and Jack stand on it. It's something we all learned. Actions speak louder than words, and words are important, but they're not that important when it comes to actions that have been carried out. Guys, what's more important? Jack, 5 seconds. Words or actions?
Oh, actions always, JD.
What about it, Professor? Words or actions?
Hillary sleeps with a racist. Excuse me.
Well,
Hillary
I know
sleeps
where
with-
you're headed. We got
Hillary
it.
sleeps with a rapist.
Okay. All right. Listen, we appreciate the time, gentlemen. Thank you very, very much for your insights and analysis.
Thank you, Peter.
Jack Burkman, Newsmax Washington, Professor Peter Morici via Skype from there around the Beltway. When we come back, today in history and which presidential candidate would be good for our military and vets. We'll talk about it next.